My name is Bianca Jagger. I am in London at Gallery Tadeusz Robak. I am here to see an extraordinary exhibition of the great artist Robert Rauschenberg. Behind me is a painting called Cavalcade 1. I met Robert Rauschenberg with Andy Warhol, as I met many other great artists at that time. I was particularly interested about his work, especially when he went to China, Cuba, Chile, to document and to present his work in countries that were victims of great repressive government, which was unparalleled at the time. It was an extraordinary effort. He went to China in 1984. One of the conversations that I had with him was the fact that I had been to China with Holston in 1980, which was before or just the beginning of the opening of China to the world. And I was fascinated, of course, because I was born in Nicaragua, because I grew up under a dictatorship, the dictatorship of the Somoza regime. His commitment to do what he thought was a peace effort that few people really understood and that was not really supported the way it should have been. Maybe it was too early. It was a visionary idea of Robert Rauschenberg. By the way, he almost entirely financed by himself. This whole project cost him $11 million. And it was so difficult for him that he had such a commitment that he sold some of his most precious paintings, including paintings from Andy Warhol, like the Dick Tracy, the famous Dick Tracy painting, which probably today costs millions of dollars. I had such a great admiration for his effort because he believed that through art he could really communicate to people in countries that did not have access to the rest of the world. I think that in some ways, what Robert Rauschenberg did when he did this project is being underestimated, and the people don't realize the impact that it had for the Chinese, who is still referred to before the Rauschenberg visit in '84, or even the artists and the people in the Soviet Union at the time. I visited Robert Rauschenberg in his house in the island of Captiva. I went there with Andy, and it was an extraordinary experience. I think he moved there in the 70s and stayed there until the end of his life. And at every opportunity that I met him, for me, it was such an exciting experience to be able to talk to him about his work and what he did and his projects, and particularly the Rocky project. Of course, I was, fascinated by it as someone who is a human rights defender and who has always been interested in countries that are and people who live under repressive government. It was for me a great, exciting and inspiring experience to be with Andy and to be with Rauschenberg. I had the privilege of being a friend of Andy, and Andy, brought me to meet great artists such as Joseph Beuys and young artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat, and of course Robert Rauschenberg, and which contributed really to my interest and my love for art and for these great artists that I had the privilege and the opportunity to meet with at the Warhol. What is art for me? I think I couldn't be more eloquent than what Robert Rauschenberg said, that art has no border. And perhaps that's why this exhibition at Tadeusz Robak Gallery is so important. It's so important really to see what Robert Rauschenberg wanted to achieve, that he wanted to tell the world that art has no border, because it is through art and through music that you transcend the difference that exists between people. You know, my foundation, the Bianca Jagger Human Rights Foundation, doesn't accept fundings from many corporations or many people. I work closely with artists, and I do an event called Art for Human Rights, and artists donate to the foundation because I believe so much that human rights and art are really interconnected. There have been great artists who have been great defenders of human rights, you know, from Picasso onward. Anthony Gormley is one of them, you know, Rauschenberg was another one. But you can find so many great artists who have been spokesmen, who have denounced repression and have denounced the persecution of people throughout the world. And that's why it means so much to me to be here, to be doing this interview about Rauschenberg, because he is a symbol of what that means, that art has no border, and that it is an expression as well, a promotion of peace. Thank you for watching this interview for Bazaar Art.